No sound yet.
Okay. How about now?
Okay, we're going to make an open
Yes.
segmented vase. Here is a drawing of the vase. Here is the drawing of the spacing of the segments. And here is the drawing showing the size of each piece. We will get to cutting some segments now and start together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the 12 segments for the bottom, and we'll do the top ring next. Okay, now we're going to cut the top ring. I'll show you how I adjust the blade for the correct size. I've got my stop here. I have this clamped to the saw blade so I can measure from this side to here to get the exact size for my piece. Up and down. And we'll cut the segments. The 12 segments for the top ring. Okay, that's the segments cut for the first open segmented ring. Okay, now we're going to glue the bottom ring together, get it set up, ready to start.
I didn't think you want a 3-hour video, so I had to shorten this.
No, that's all good.
Check is to get the correct size for the segment.
All right, there it is glued together. Now we just let the glue dry and we will start turning it. Okay, I'm going to flatten the bottom of the first ring so I can glue it to a faceplate. Okay, now glue the face or the first ring to the faceplate.
Is that all it catches, Dane?
Okay, we'll let that set up.
Notice.
Now I need to part off about a 3/16 piece off of this to cap the floating bottom. Okay, I now mark for the floating bottom.
I kicked the camera, so I had to stop filming.
Now to flatten the floating ring.
Glued in. That floating model is floating.
Okay, now glue the cover on that I cut off. And let that glue up. Okay, now we'll flatten this so we can start gluing the open segments to
Like
it.
I just setting it up.
Okay, now we're going to start gluing the first row of open segments on. To do so, we will measure from the center to where the outside of the ring should be, and then set it here for our stop right there, and we will glue pieces on.
No, it's not in the newsletter, Dane.
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, that's the first ring glued on. We'll let it set a while, and then we will turn it and true it. Okay, while we're waiting for that to dry, we will start truing up the top. Okay, now we will glue it to the base.
One side of that sanding board is 60 grit, the other side is 50 grit.
Okay, we'll let that set up.
What's the resolution? The resolution I got.
Oh, maybe that's the problem. I put it in there, it's not in the picture.
Well,
I'm fine. Brenda, y'all need to glue it together.
Okay, now we'll glue the next ring on.
glue is the thick and quick, which dries clear, and the amount of pressure that I use when I put it on is all the pressure you need. If anyone wants plans for the jig, email me and I will mail them to you. Roger Wollam at yahoo.com.
All right, we'll let that dry and trim it up and go to the next. Okay, we'll start shaping the bottom open segmented. Okay, we'll glue the next open segmented ring on, following the design pattern. As you can see, I only put a little bit of glue on the edges so it doesn't squeeze out all over.
Yes, Brenda, they're all the same angle, but they're different width. And Marv, the sanding block is 60 grit on one side and 80 on the other side.
All right, that ring's glued on. We'll let it set and turn it and put the next ring on.
Yes.
Do some camera changing here just a second. Okay, we'll glue the next ring on.
you notice on the circle part of the jig that I lock into, there's short lines and long lines. Every other round you use, like this one, I'm using the long line. The next layer, I'll be using the short line. That gives you the spacing to keep everything centered.
Okay, we'll let that dry, and we'll glue another ring on the top half, and then we'll turn these two again. Okay, now we'll glue this ring on. All right, we'll let that glue dry, and then we will turn it for the next row of segments. Okay, we'll get this ring turned and ready for the next.
Pick up 15 minutes, time I glue it. Okay, you'll see in a little bit what happens when I get too heavy.
All right, that's turned and flattened. Ready to glue on the next ring. Okay, we've got it marked. So let's go ahead and turn it.
Whoops.
That wasn't good. Okay, we'll glue this ring on. That ring's on, let it dry, turn it.
Completely clear, you don't see it when it's dry. Two.
Well, I have to rebuild this ring. As you can see, I broke it while trying to turn it. So I took it all off and we will glue another ring on in its place. That's one advantage to segmented work, where you can just take off part and re-add it. Okay, that ring is glued on. Let it set up and hopefully it'll hold together better. Okay, we'll glue the next ring on.
Sue, this took me about a week and a half to build, and you'll see why here in a little bit.
Okay, that one's glued together. We'll let it dry. Okay, we will turn this one. Okay, give it a little bit of support here. And that didn't work.
Number 4 grew up.
Right, because I had a mistake and broke things up, I'm having to restart the top. So I've got all new pieces cut. And we'll try again.
part of my problem that I was having is I wasn't turning fast enough. The upper part is smaller diameter.
Okay, let that one glue up. Okay, that ring is turned. Ready to glue the next one on. Okay, we'll glue the next ring on the base. Trying to keep myself out of between the camera and the piece so you can see what I'm doing. All right, that row is glued on. Okay, sanded flat. We'll put the next spring on. Spring on.
Billy, I didn't write the plans for the jig. They're from somebody else. So I don't think Dave can put them on the website.
Good point, Roger. I was not aware of that.
Okay, another level glued up. Let it dry. Try turning another ring. Bottom half is going fine. The upper half's the problem.
If it was any longer, Sue, yes, I would be using a steady rest. A little rough on open segments, though, with a steady rest.
That ring is done. Okay, we'll get this ring ready to go. Okay, we finally got the lower half, or the upper part, back to where it was when I messed up. So I still need to get it caught up to the other half. All right, let the glue dry, and we will finish turning it to put the next layer on. Okay, that one's inside turned and flattened. We add another ring to it.
You notice I'm not turning the outside yet of the upper part. Found out it.
Okay, we'll glue another ring on.
I wanted to get it done.
Roger, is that basically like Earl's jig, only made a little differently?
I don't know who Carl is, but
No, Earl.
Huh?
Earl. From
Earl.
Earl's. Yeah, he's a segmented turner.
No, it's not the same.
This jig is what we had when I was taking the class for segmented, and all the instructions were given to me in the class, so it's for building the jig. I know some of them use a metal ring at the bottom with holes in it. Mine's just paper glued to 1/4-inch hardwood and cut to size. Use a bandsaw. It's got little slots to lock it down so it doesn't move.
Okay, another ring glued on. Let it dry. Okay, I'm back putting the last ring on the bottom half. I'm at the point where I need to change the direction of my spacings. So I got it set up. Okay, that ring's glued on. Let it dry. Okay, we'll surface another ring. Okay, that ring is flat. Okay, I'm trying a little different camera angle, see if this shows any better.
I'm learning as I'm going with the camera.
Okay, that ring is glued on. Let it dry.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh, got a little too aggressive there.
Those aren't a problem. You can glue those pieces right back on.
Okay, let's flatten it. I'm going to worry about doing the outside when I put the two halves together and blend it in better. Okay, we're done with that half. We'll work on the upper half to get ready to glue the last ring on. Okay, we'll measure for the inside. flatten it now. All right, we'll glue the last ring on so we can get this thing finished. Okay, that ring is glued on. That's the last ring. Hopefully everything goes as planned and we can finish it. Do a little finish sanding to this half while I'm waiting for the other part to dry. You can see I have a buff, so I drill like no inside. Doesn't put any force on any of the pieces.
I think it will help move things out on the inside quite a bit. A wood show about 15 years ago, Norm.
Okay, now I'm going to spray a little lacquer on the inside. Okay. I'll let the lacquer dry and then I'll resand the surface to where, so it will glue back together. Okay, I don't have it glued together yet. I still have one more ring to finish on the bottom half or the top half on the inside. But while I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I can turn the outside. I've got the two pieces firmly pressed together here. Okay, I got a piece that came out, so I'll have to get that glued back in. Okay, we're sanded flat. Now all I have to do is sand the inside, put a pre-finish on it, and then we can glue the two halves together. Do a little bit of sanding on the inside. We'll finish the inside of it. Let that dry. I resand the edge and we'll glue the two halves together. Okay, I have the inside sanded and sprayed, and we'll glue the two halves together. As you can see, I've got the lower half ready, got the glue on the tips. We'll put it together with pressure and let it set for a couple hours. Okay, we've got the two halves together. Like I say, we let it dry. Okay, I need to do just a little bit of finish trimming. Then I can finish sanding the outside and part the top off and do the work there that I need to do. Yeah, I'm ready to sand it now. And which I won't record all that. You don't need to see me sand. Okay, we will part it off at the top now. And be ready to finish the top of it off. And we'll finish off the top. Okay, as you can see now, we've got the top off. We just need to finish turning this portion, sand it smooth, clean the dust out, and then I can do the rest of the finishing on it. Oh, that wasn't a good thing.
Billy, I sand them before I glue it together.
Put a little bit of finish on the outside of this, and then I'll part off the bottom.
Okay, thank you, Roger.
Okay, now we'll part it off. Okay, for safety, I'm going to put a little support on the end so I don't have to worry about things coming apart and letting something get damaged. Okay, I don't want it to break anything, so I think I will finish it off with the saw. Now I just need to sand it to finish the bottom off. And it will be finished. Okay, now we just need to sand it, and we can finish the bottom. All right, all we need to do is spray it, let it dry.
Did you see it as I slid it off, Brenda?
And there we have a completed open segmented vase.
Absolutely great.
Fantastic. Great job, Roger.
Great demo, Roger.
Thank you.
Absolutely great demo.
Touche, bud. That was great.
Nice demo, Roger.
And I wanted to show the mistakes.
Perfect.
I-
Absolutely awesome. Can you show us that the circle paper to show the angles? Yeah, that one. What's it say? Well, I can't read the numbers on it though.
Well, that's all my handwriting on it.
That polar graph?
Huh?
Was that printed out a polar graph?
I don't know. Actually, this was done, or some papers that I got in class, and I just made copies of them.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You got writing on the paper. Okay, I didn't see that up there either. Okay.
All the writing on it is me, reading my measurements.
Yeah.
So,
Roger, I had one question about your sled.
okay.
What's the dimensions of the sled?
I don't know. It was, like I said, it's one of those pieces I made in class. I didn't make the wedgie sled because the wedgie sled, you're limited to your width of your rings that you can cut.
Yes.
This one, you can slide it apart and have wider areas to cut wider pieces. I'll have it with me at Level Up.
Okay.
The jig that you were doing the layers on,
Yeah.
was you putting the chuck on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Had an adapter on it. The jig is set up for a 1 inch, and my Nova is 1 1/4, so I had an adapter on there.
Okay. Man, I'd love to make one of them, I'll tell you.
I'll send you the plans.
I don't think it's above my pay level, but
I think you can handle it.
I don't know. Of course, I know for a fact I'd have more explosions than you did. That's for sure.
Oh, I didn't get hurt. Nothing ever hit me.
Yeah.
What speeds were you turning at?
Well, that was part of my problem when I was breaking it earlier. I thought I was running at 1,000, but I was only running at 700. When I bumped it up to 1,000, I quit breaking it.
Yeah, catching too much air.
Well, it was just
At
catching
slow
things.
speeds, yes.
Yeah.
So Roger, there were several questions from different members regarding the rule stick that you had on the right side of your saw blade when you were cutting.
Yeah.
Could you
The
further
stick
explain
gives
that?
me the exact surface of the blade, and I can measure over to my stop block and adjust the stop block to the exact size that I need to cut my segments. I only showed it one time in the demo, but I used it every time I cut a ring because every ring was a different size.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Roger. I usually try to just eyeball it, but sometimes you get off.
Yeah.
There's a question. How critical is the table saw blade for glue joints?
The smoother the finish, the better.
Right.
On the open segmented pieces, I was sanding them. I didn't show it, but I was sanding the pieces before I glue it together. on the inner parts.
You were doing that like on the
That was part, I just didn't show it.
but did you sand those like on a belt sander or something?
No, I did it on that block sander that I was using on the lathe when I was flattening the rings.
Okay.
That,
Just by hand?
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That block sander, did you make that yourself or did you buy it?
Made it.
Yep. Okay, that's what I thought.
I want to say something about the table saw blades. The best saw blade you can afford is well worth it.
Yep.
The better the blade, the better the cut.
Right.
I like the Freud 60 or 80 tooth.
Yeah, an 82 for make a nice cut, leave a nice
Believe
surface.
it or not, the blade that's on that saw was on it when it was given, the saw was given to me.
Yep.
And it's a Craftsman blade.
I like my
I've had
forest
that saw for
woodworker
10
too.
years.
Me too.
That's pretty good off a Craftsman blade.
Yeah.
Yep. My dad had that same table saw. I seen it and I said, "You stole it."
It's a good solid table saw.
Oh yeah, it's heavy.
You don't have your segment jig setter there in the shop in the room with you, do you? Of course he does.
There you go. Huh.
You wanna walk Brenda and myself and everybody else through that on how it works with your graph, your polar paper graph there.
All right. As you can see, this bar comes down to the exact center.
Dead center on your spindle.
Yeah. And you measure from the end of this to this saw little stop that I've made here. You can see this moves back and forth.
That's your stop block on it.
There's just a little. You can see
Right.
there's just a little piece of the angle iron. And you measure, and like I was saying, if I can get it where you can see the lines. You see that there's short lines and long lines?
Yes.
Okay, the one time around you use the short lines, the next level you would do the long lines. And that keeps your spacing centered.
And then each time when you're setting your blocks, you're setting the segment against that angle iron.
That's correct.
Yep.
Is it possible to put that on the send it in, have it put on the website, the dimensions, how to make it?
If Dave wants to print it, I will send it to him. I'll send it tonight or in the morning.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll put it on.
Roger, I have a quick question. Is this jig, is it used only for open segmenting, or do you use it on all segmenting?
I only use it on open.
Oh, only on open. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Sure do. It's a nice setup.
And here's the plans that I sent to Dave to build it.
Yep.
And they will be on by tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'll print
That's
off a copy.
Very detailed set of plans.
They're very good.
But anyone else have any more questions for Roger? Brenda, I know you do.
I'm emailing him right now.
Brenda can't wait till it's posted on the website. She wants immediate satisfaction.
Oops, it can't be sent. Why not?
Well, he spelled his last name wrong.
No, I didn't. Your username is wrong. Okay. I can't even email somebody.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, Roger,
All right,
once again, thank you very much for a fantastic demonstration. Can't
Like
wait
I
to
said,
see
I tried
them.
to shorten the video as much as I could and still make it where you could understand it.
Right?
And
No, that was perfect.
Yep, I
That was a
agree.
very good demo. I liked it.
Because you can take the printout, your plans, and then you can in turn, page by page follow it back, with the demo
yeah,
and see how it's done, and you got your hard copies there. You can take notes of what you observed here watching it live, and or two, watching it for the first time on the rerun. You can catch those occurrences of, like, oh yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that, and you have a nice record of it. So
Yep. Now I'm going to download the instructions on it. The next thing is living long enough to do it.
oh, you'll be able to do that.
I'm
You'll
joking.
be able to do that. Well, once again, fantastic demonstration. Anybody else wants to demo, reach out, let me know. We're always looking for new
He
demonstrators.
made it look way too simple.
Correct.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah,
Hey, Roger.
that's the beauty of it.
yeah.
After all your segments were cut, from start to finish of putting it together, how long did it take you?
About a week and a half.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. Great job, though. Great job.
But he only
Because of
worked
the,
about an hour a day.
Yeah, the rest of I was waiting on glue to dry.
That's why you do it in two halves also. You can work on one while the glue's drying on the other one.
Right.
How long would you wait for your glue to set up? About 15 minutes?
About 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's that quick and thick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was the bottle.
About 15 minutes is what I wait for whenever I'm using it for a turning project. It's about the same time for you as well, right, Bob Grinstead?
Yeah, 15 minutes is
Yeah.
plenty of time,
Right.
But quick and thick sets up pretty fast. It's I like that, especially for segmented stuff.
I don't like it for everything, but it has its place.
Yes.
But it does. It has its place. I wouldn't use it all the time.
Yeah, it's not waterproof.
Yeah, sometimes it sets up too fast.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
No,
especially if you give it a little wiggle and get that friction heat going with it.
Yeah.
Better hope that on that last pull, you got it in the spot where you want it at.
It better be there if you do that.
Dan, you just have to be a little bit faster than a sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a slug.
Right. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions for Roger on the demo, if not, then thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's been a heck of an evening with a lot of great gallery at the beginning and fantastic demo. We have the start of a 3-part demo series starting next week. And normally I don't announce who the demonstrator is, but we already did last week. But Dewey Johnson's going to be demonstrating that Middle Eastern decanter flask vessel that he made. It's going to be 3 parts. So for 3 consecutive weeks, we will be watching how Dewey makes that piece of work, piece of art. So it's going to be really good.